Filmmaker Samuel Haun specializes in storytelling, visual style, and authenticity in cinema.
I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York. I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast.
So who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown up?
This week on the Dallas Famous Podcast, we're talking with filmmaker Samuel Haun. Sam shares his journey from East Texas to Dallas, directing his first feature after nearly 20 years in the industry. He talks about his creative process, influences, and the importance of perseverance. Sam opens up about making dark, thought-provoking films that challenge audiences and reflect his personal experiences. Plus, he reveals his plans for upcoming projects, Texas film industry opportunities, and how to get involved. Stay tuned for an inspiring conversation about craft, passion, and pushing boundaries in independent cinema. Here it is. The Dallas Famous Podcast is supported by the Mullen & Mullen Music Project. The Music Project was created by Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm to champion the independent music scene in North Texas. We are back at the Deep Ellum Community Center, Dallas Famous Podcast. I've got director, filmmaker Samuel Haun with us today. How's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. I like to skip around a little, but basically you just did a big feature, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We go into that?
Yeah. Let's start with that.
So, crazy bit. I've been in film for almost 20 years now. A good bit of that as a camera operator, a second unit director, a director of photography, an editor, producing. And through the years, there was a few films offered to me, but it didn't really hit what I really wanted it to be for my debut. Just subject matter stuff. Things that, I'd want my children to see with my name on it one day. And I turned those films down, and then late 22. Always get the years messed up. I'm getting old, man.
Same.
I got offered to do this film called Wicked Season, written by E.K. Spila and Amy Holcomb, and read it, loved it, saw the magic on the page, and I'm like, let's do this. So That was my debut after 20 years.
Interesting. It just clicked in. I keep thinking Wicked Season. It's like, what season of the show is it? But it's like the name of the movie. That's me being silly. Cool. Interesting. So it's like you were always wanting to be a director, but you started in camera departments and other departments. Is that right?
Yeah. That's an odd one too to kind of go into. Not in a bad way. My first gig ever, because of a friend of mine, a guy named Leo Wong. This is like early in probably 2008, 2009. He was just, at that point I was doing music videos, commercials, really just finding my way. I really didn't even know my voice at that time. And he introduced me to another director, a guy named Brian James, and was like, hey, he's got this movie happening, just come out to his set. And so my first gig was a behind-the-scenes photographer.
That's what I'm trying to get into right now.
I did 2 of those kind of films, and then I was still at the same time, I was directing shorts, and there was this one called Patient Zero that he saw, and he was like, let's make a movie. You can either be the lead actor or the director of photography. And acting sounds fun, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll do this director of photography thing. And so my first feature film from start to finish, because the BTS gigs, I was only on there for like a week or so at a time. Mm-hmm. Patient Zero, or Biohazard Patient Zero, was my first feature. And I was a cinematographer. It was a big step. I didn't have no idea what I was doing.
Wow. Okay.
Just surrounded by really cool people.
We're going to come all the way back to, let's start at the beginning. So you grew up in East Texas. Mm-hmm. I think I saw a Facebook post today where you were like talking about directing your little brother, like when you were a kid. Like how did it start for you? Like the first bug, I guess, for directing and making films.
As a child, from directing like little choreographed action scenes with my brother in the backyard, there was always something there. I didn't know what it was. And then in high school, I was seeing the theater kids, and they were making shorts, and there was this jealousy thing. I didn't know why though. And then in that post, I was mentioning the fact that at the end of my high school, there was an aptitude test, and it was like at the end of it all, it was like, you're going to either be a detective or you'd be great as a film director. And I'm like, okay, like who's going to be a film director? That what's the chances?
Wait,
of
but
that?
like, were you going to be a detective? Like what's the connection there?
I mean, well, there is actually, because it's the analytical aspect, being able
Okay.
to see like the full puzzle, being able to read people, being able to like see between the lines. So maybe detective would have been a good gig, but after the military, after I came back from the Navy, I was still playing in rock bands. I was a guitarist.
Oh.
Still thought I could sing. I cannot sing. I have my dad's like lack of tone. And I was going back to college to do computer programming to get into like game design. And then I realized it wasn't the actual coding part that I was interested in. It was the story design, the character design. And there was this elective that I took called film history at University of Texas in Tyler. And it was just writing essays, breaking down films, seeing the meaning behind it. And there was this one class, or this one day in the class, where it was like a compilation of different films and what does the art, the medium, like the secrets behind it, like shooting left to right or right to left. There's hitting like connotations, like what it invokes emotions. And there was this scene in Cold Blood. It's old film. I forget the year. I think it was I could be wrong, but I think 67.
It's the Coen brothers?
No. God,
I'm thinking of Blood
I'd be
Simple.
horrible,
Yeah. Let's not go there.
But there was this scene where it was a stoic killer, and he was relaying this like story about his past when he was a kid of his father, and it was just this emotional thing, but he had no emotion. But in the shot, he was standing so close to the window that the shadows of the rain that they put on the window were on his face, and it was tears. So even though he was stoic and he was emotionless, it showed that he had this emotion inside of him. And I'm just like, my mind exploded. I'm like, you mean this is what this medium can do? Because at this point for me in music, nothing I wrote, no lyrics, no music, nothing, I couldn't connect with anything. Nothing, there was no personal level. So then, hey, film can do this. And then I bought the little handy camcorder. My friend Jonathan Terrell, who's a country singer now, pretty big dude on it too. He was just like, hey, let's go talk. I need a music video. And it took me 3 months on pirated software. I own my own now. That was back in the day. And what I could do probably now overnight, we made this little video that's not out there anymore. We took a lot of that down.
Okay.
But it was an experience. And then all of a sudden there was just this fire in me, this bug, this itch to create. And so I found every excuse under the sun to make videos.
Right.
Music videos a lot.
That's where you started. Yeah. I actually like music videos. I've said this before. I used to watch MTV and I was a musician for a long time, but I've come full circle. Like the videos are what I like the most. You know, it's fun to do that. And so, is this when you started your production company? Is that kind of the same time?
Yeah, it was originally Tripwire Films.
Okay.
And I mean, I wanted to get into shorts and I just didn't have that courage yet at that point. But then it just slowly started happening.
Right. Well,
And
it's a jump to go from the music video to like the audio element of dialogue, right?
And then all the stuff that's involved in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's a whole lot of depth. But even like, I like the evolution that I've had in my career. Directing the film Wicked Season when I did later in life. I mean, I'm 42 at that time when we started. I was not ready 10 years ago. I could not have told that story. Even my writing now has evolved so much because I look at it in themes, which, 15 years ago, if I tried to explain that, I'm like, I don't understand themes. Now that's the only thing I can write in. Like if I don't have a base theme to center my film around, I can't connect to it as a director.
How did you make that discovery?
A lot of it I owe to my creative partner and producer, Mark David Anthony, who also produced and acted in Wicked Season.
Okay.
It was a lot of the rapid fire and the debate that we would have while we were beginning to write again. Like he was the one that I say, like, squeeze the blood back into Dracula in 2020. I mean, I was off of film at that point. I had to take a break, and the corporate gig happened. I started a boxing gym after that. And then when COVID hit, we're back into film. And he was one that convinced me to do my first short film at that point. And then we got into this thing where we would write, where we would discuss and we would debate and we would tear the ideas apart and find the real meaning behind it.
Huh.
And so I grew as a writer over the last 5-6 years. to where it's nothing but themes and shapes and what's the meaning behind it. Instead of just, hey, I'm going to scare you, I want you to think about it. So
Right. Interesting. So you're writing a lot of the stuff that you're filming?
we do now. I mean, we didn't write Wicked Season. That was obviously E.K. Spila and Amy Holcomb's work, which is an award-winning script. They worked really well in the festival circuit before they came and talked to me. But everything now, the new short coming up to the new feature that we're kind of stepping stoning into that after the short it's our writing. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of dark themes that we discuss, but very mature and,
Is there
thought-provoking.
a reason you gravitate towards that?
Towards what?
To the dark themes?
My brain.
Yeah.
Maybe the life growing up as a kid, very much like an outsider kind of vibe. There was a lot of bullying as a child, dealing with, the typical thing, I
Yeah.
guess. So
Okay.
I have a darker mind. I mean, I don't ever see myself doing a romantic comedy
Right.
unless there's a darker tone to it
Right.
or
A dark
something. But
romantic comedy,
it's-
maybe.
call it narrative therapy, maybe. I don't know.
Narrative therapy. That's good. That's good. How did you find yourself in Dallas? How did you get here?
I've always loved Dallas. For one, I wanted there's always been this natural draw to Dallas. I wanted to make it my town, especially for film. And that really falls towards Texas too, but I love Dallas. I mean, I remember as an 18-year-old coming up here with my older brother and getting my first tattoo. I think it was called the Smooth Groove. I don't think it's here anymore, but I've just always been drawn to this place.
Right. I mean, you're playing music. Were you playing music up here? Or?
No, that was all in East Texas.
Okay.
That was I was just a kid, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went into the Navy, I was playing in bands in Virginia, and it's just when I got here and I found the camera, I guess I hung up the guitar at that point. I still
Interesting.
play a little bit, but I'm not good. I'm not even going to say that I am, man.
Right.
I mean, the craft behind that instrument, since I could never really connect, I never spent the time to really learn it. Compare it to film, that became my instrument and my medium. And now I feel like I've spent the 20 years studying that, and I'm not a master. Well, I don't think anybody's ever a master of those things.
Sure.
It's a constant evolution and understanding. But the big thing for me was learning who I am and not being somebody else. I always looked up to Kubrick, always looked up to Carpenter, David Fincher. And I found myself in the early years trying to be them. Kind of like in music, I always wanted to be whatever rock star.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then you get to this point after 40 where I feel like you stop wanting to be someone else. And it's like, what's your art? What are you trying to say? And it doesn't matter how somebody else makes their film. I don't have to compare myself to other horror directors, which I'm not a horror director either. I'm not a genre specific. I just, right now, that's where I'm sitting in. So
Right. We were talking when you walked in that you didn't start as a director. You started in other departments. So what was the evolution of that? Where did you start and how did you end up as a director from there?
I mean, I always, even in the early part, I was always the leader, and I would direct even the music videos and stuff. I guess I was always a part that just kept growing. I mean, it started small, but as my understanding and my reputation kind of grew, I just became a solid, more stronger director. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it became more as I believed in myself more, I guess. And then, when did it really kick over? I mean, during those early years, when we were even the cinematographer for the Biohazard Patient Zero, cinematographer's fun, or DP and all that, but it's not where my calling kind of happens is.
Yeah.
I guess it's always been that's been the thing that I've wanted to do.
Right. It's interesting because I've worked on sets and a lot of times it's not, I don't know if it's pigeonholed or if you just get comfortable and you just don't evolve out. And it's not like everyone that's on a set becomes a director. That's
Right.
definitely not how it works.
No, that's what everybody wants to be.
Sure.
And life is going to, whatever. And I mean, camera operating and editing, for years, that was just my bread and butter. That's
Right.
what kept the bills paid, the lights on. And then, you get older and your body starts saying no. I don't think with some of the nerve stuff in my shoulder, I can't hold a 20, 30 pound camera anymore.
Yeah.
But the thing is never backing down from what you're wanting to do. And as a director, it's like, no, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the fact that you are a director, and you have to keep calling yourself that, even on the times when you think you've hit that wall and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the moment that you say, okay, this is just not me, then it dies.
Right.
And it's not easy. Not at all. I mean, a lot of people do want to do it, but sometimes it doesn't work out. I mean, it took me 20 years to get that first film.
Yeah, no, I mean, my friend is trying to put a film together now, and it's like there's so many moving parts, and it's like there's the budget stuff, and there's the, you know, just, I mean, now we just got a big thing passed here for more incentives in Texas. Is that something you've been able to take advantage of yet?
That is super exciting.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm hoping for the next feature that we will, Where the Monster Lives, which is a lot of fun. It's probably the darkest, craziest thing I've ever written. As a team, too, we have 4 writers on it, so it's really kind of fun. We can talk about that, too, if you want. But,
yeah.
I forgot your question.
That was just about the film incentives.
Yeah, sorry, the film incentive. So I think before, to get the full range of it, you had to have a budget between $3 to $5 million. Now I think it's down, and I could be wrong, correct me, and bad on some details every now and then, but I think it's 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So where a lot of the small guys, which $1.5 million sounds like a lot of money, but it's not.
Sure.
I mean, Wicked Season was done for 200, but that was a lot of friend favors, making things happen.
Yeah.
And you can't always go back to that. I'm excited about the incentives, though. I think that's going to open up a whole door to the Texas film industry, and bring a lot of opportunity for people who can't work in that 3 to 5 million range yet, but give them something that's tangible to reach.
Sure.
So
yeah, that's exciting. No,
I feel it blowing up Texas. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got a friend still in Hollywood. He's a costumer, and he's like, there's just nothing filming here. It's all going away. And so it hasn't been in Texas. Well, I mean, they're starting to in Fort Worth with all those Westerns, but it's exciting to me. Like, I want to get involved in it. You know, it's cool. Yeah, let's talk about that movie that you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because sometimes as a musician, you write your first album and you spend your whole life getting it ready, and then the second album you're like, what do I do? It's like, how does that relate? Is that,
Wicked Season was, what's the best way to say this? It was the stepping off the edge.
mm-hmm.
And I even talk about imposter syndrome. The last week before we started filming, I'm laying on this couch, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I about to do? It's just not it's not a crazy amount of money, but if I fail, this is tanked. So, but you step into it, and each day, once you start, as long as you keep stepping forward, believing in yourself, then things just start happening because you have a crew around you that makes it happen, right?
Right.
And that was my film school. That's really how I view Wicked Season. There was a lot of things that I have been on so many sets, but this was my first time as the main guy. The one that if this fails, this is on me.
Yeah, well, on a day-to-day basis, if there's something wrong, they're coming to you to figure it out.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, it's stressful. And I feel like everything that we had gone through in the process of making that film, we made something incredible. So now it's okay, what do you do for the second one? How do you ante up on that? And for me, I wanted to take everything that I learned in Wicked Season and then add it to that, but make it my voice and tell the kind of story that I want to tell completely within my own words and my own team. And I feel like we really anteed up on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk about some very serious themes, from depression to bullying, and even really trauma, PTSD, generational. So it's very thick within hard subjects.
Right. Where are you at with that? You're still writing it? You're in pre-production?
We're in development right now.
Okay.
So the script's done. We already have that copyright on that. We're kind of building a team. And a lot of that, before that takes place, it's kind of funny because there's that short film. It's called When Opportunity Knocks. And we're actually beginning our funding kind of campaign for that. But I didn't want to do just some short. I wanted something that was a tonal experiment for Where the Monster Lives, dealing with, again, hard subjects, intense subjects, but then even the visual aspect of, stark black and white imagery for the imagination to the color of real life, and then dealing with like a lot of atmospheric sounds and tension even in the silence. And that one's a tough one because, I mean, within When Opportunity Knocks, we're dealing with domestic abuse. And not just the man beats the woman, it's what, it flips the other way, and there's mental abuse to a woman, to a man, to the husband. So it's like both sides of it.
Interesting.
And it's again, it's those kind of topics that it's unconventional, it's uncomfortable, and those are the kind of stories that I want to tell. The things that make you think. And yes, I mean, there is violence in it, but at the same time, we're discussing things that are just super intense,
Right.
super dark, and it's handled in a way. I mean, I feel really good about it. It's also, we've got some cast coming into that, and depending on whenever this airs, we'd be within our 60-day campaign, and announcing some of the people that have attached to the film.
Cool.
So
Cool. Are you trying to make this like a Texas production? I mean, are you going outside of here to do anything? It's all here.
I'm going to stay in Texas for a while.
Yeah.
I've got one film that I did want to go upstate, Massachusetts, New York. It's about a witch, but it deals with like the internet, and like it's got its own social commentary too.
That's cool.
It's kind of like embedded in, but it may not. I mean, it could be Louisiana, it could be Texas. If Texas keeps going the path that they're going, with incentives and the economic aspects of it, the industry and people getting involved, it would be a lot easier to keep films like that here.
Right.
Which is what I want. And I mean, this is my home.
Yeah. I mean, do you understand how they work? Because the way I understood it was there has to be a percentage of the crew and or the cast. Do we have enough people that know how to do those jobs in Texas right now?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
There are so many people. This is such a ripe industry. I mean, I go to, like, there's the DFA, the Dallas Filmmakers Alliance. Went there the other day to kind of crew up for that 48-hour race that I directed just recently. So many people that are just aching to get onto a set. And there's so many talented people here that I work with on a regular basis that it's all here. Like, we absolutely can be our own little Hollywood.
Right. I mean,
It just takes like unity, maybe.
Yeah.
People really coming together and saying, this is where we are and this is what we're going to do here.
yeah, I mean,
I believe in it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it definitely could be too. And we talk about how we have everything here except for, the publicity maybe, or the unity, like you were saying. Like, I mean, so there's communities, I guess, like you're talking about this 48-hour film festival where you can meet these people and get involved if you want to do something on a crew. I like to say that whatever job you do normally, you could get that job on a film and possibly make more money, possibly. And I guess it's independent, maybe not so much, but
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, we like to pay people well,
yeah.
and just to live to those standards of, like, because obviously this is a right to work state.
Right.
But whether you go union or not, like, you still treat them within that. You do, you take care of your crew and you take care of your cast. And if you do that and you pay your bills and you treat people respectfully, more people want to work with you.
Right.
And then, they want to come back to the next thing and they believe in you. And I think once you start getting that and then people start getting excited, then we'll have more of that here.
Yeah, absolutely.
believe
I used to
in
do a lot of extra work in Hollywood, and I remember I would get to the set and I would look at craft service and I would know exactly what kind of day we were going to have, like depending on how much they spent on that, you knew it was going to go across
If
the
it's a
board.
bunch of old fruit and goldfish,
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
oh man, what's happening
Yeah.
here?
Well,
Where's
for
my gummy treats?
For me, it was like the bagel test. It's like, okay, they've got bagel and cream cheese. Okay. Oh, they've got lox. Oh, they've got capers. It's going to be a good day. That was my test. I don't know why that was. Also, what the Dead Man's Game? Did we talk about that?
We can.
Yeah. What's that?
That's one in development as well. It's not horror. It's an action love story, kind of like the Odyssey. Every one of our stories, a lot of them are influenced by older stories. Like Where the Monster Lives is a straight up Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's crazy. Dead Man's Game is the Odyssey, and it deals with PTSD. Something that it's kind of a cause that I feel very deeply for, just because being ex-military, a lot of my brothers and sisters go through this, and this film deals with that, and it talks about memory loss, and it's very much, God, I want to say it wrong because I do it every time, but Kurosawa's Rashomon,
I can't correct
The
you.
film community is going to hate me right now. I'm sorry. But it's a story about perspectives. One guy has a distorted perspective, another one has a distorted perspective, and this third person comes in and it's like, well, this is what really happened. And it's all about redemption.
Right.
It's a powerful story. It's in development.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't want to do the film for just a couple $100,000. I want to get into that incentive range of at least like $1 million, $1.5 million.
Right. So you're mostly working on stuff that you're helping write. Is that kind of, I mean, would you consider, if someone asked you, like, would you go do something else that you had nothing to do with the writing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
You would have to be.
I mean, Wicked Season wasn't my writing.
Right.
And,
Okay, you said that, yeah.
And I will take them on. It's just, I have to look at the script and say, is that something I want to put my name on?
Yeah.
And then, what's the deal and, who are the people involved?
You talked about the PTSD, but like, is there other ways that the military affected the way you're approaching filmmaking?
Yeah. The military grew me up. Best way to say that. It's probably not the proper English, but you learn that life isn't easy and that nobody will give you anything. You have to fight for it. And so with that, the military shaped me to the fact that if you're going to go for something, you have to go for it and you have to get it done. And you have to put blinders on. And even in my early years, I was still learning that, you get going a little bit, it derails, and then you're like, okay, well, here's the other idea. Well, all you did was just half step and, you just take that idea on that you really believe in and commit to it. And you could see it through. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of that. I
Yeah.
mean, the military taught me perseverance. And even though when times are really hard, you don't stop. And that's where I'm at now. So
Right. I mean, I just remember thinking every day I was working on production, it's like, we know something's going to go wrong today. The question is, how fast are we going to get past it? Like, that's how I always saw production,
And you have to make decisions on the spot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like you don't have the time to pull it off. I've only missed, in 20 years, I've only not made my day one time.
Wow.
On Wicked Season.
Wow.
We ran out of daylight. We were shooting outside, which it ultimately helped because we just picked that day up. We put it at the end of the schedule, and we got a way better performance out of everybody. Everybody was kind of warmed up to it already at that point, and I felt like it helped us.
Yeah, sometimes those are like happy accidents, I guess. It's good stuff that the universe kind of lays it out the way it's going to lay it out.
It was an acceptable day drop.
Right.
I don't allow it again. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, it's like you fight. You have these agendas and you want to get stuff done, but sometimes if you just go with it, it's better.
And then you look at stuff. I mean, you get to there and you have your script and you think everything's perfect, but then you start like, okay, do I really need this moment right here?
Right.
Or do we need this right here? And I'm probably, I would say, one of the best at like killing my own ideas. I'm like, okay, that's just fluff.
Yeah.
And it's going to kill our day. So let's go ahead and remove that. And let's linger on and hold on to the part that we need to hold on.
Right.
And to expand on that moment. Let's get the best out of this moment.
Yeah, that's like a song where like the notes you don't play are the best notes sometimes, What so Dream Sketch Films, that's the production company. And so is that something where you're just working on your films? Is there other stuff that you're working on like at side by side or?
So right now at the moment it is our stuff, but I'm open to the idea. And I've talked to a few other filmmakers about the possibility of at some point getting to where maybe if I don't have to direct on it, could I produce with you?
Right.
And just kind of helping foster that kind of community too. It's not always about me.
Right. Well, so what is it that you're looking like? What do you want? Perfect world? Like, what happens? You like win like awards? You like have major theatrical? Like, what is your goal with all this stuff?
To make films that make people think. Really, honestly, if you had asked me that 15 years ago, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to make gobbles of bags of money just falling out of my ears. But you get older and I think you care less about that.
Yeah.
And you just want to do the art and you want to be able to tell stories that you're proud of. Things that you can say, hey, that's a part of my legacy. I talked about things that people weren't, able to talk about or they were too afraid to talk about. And just having fun with it, enjoying it, man. I mean, in 10 years, I would like to be making $5 to $10 million films and helping other people get their films too. and then paying it forward, especially like younger
Right.
filmmakers, like open those doors, give opportunities. And that's something we tried to do. People did it for me. They opened the door, gave me opportunity, like my friend Leo, to those other directors, working with Richard Linklater for a day. That was
Oh,
pretty fun.
That's cool.
He actually inspired me too. I remember it was a pickup day on Bernie. That's a fun story. I'm actually doing okay. So 15 years ago, I met the man, and we were riding in a car to Miss Nugent's grave in Carthage, I think. And I'm just this young buck. I'm like 28, 29, whatever. And I'm like, this is my one chance to sit in this car with Richard Linklater. And I'm just asking him questions. He's telling me stuff from his perspective. And at the end of it, I'm like, well, how can I ever get in contact with you? Thinking that this is my one moment to do it. And he's like, well, if you want to get in contact, make a movie. And so flash forward, now I've got the movie. I'm going to put on a little jump drive for him with the photo that we took at Nugent's grave with my next script. Not wanting anything from the man. I really don't.
Yeah.
For me, it's just this full circle. His inspiration to like, hey, if you ever want to get a hold of me, do this. And even when I had the film, I still sat on it. I mean, that came out in November of 24 last year, and I wasn't ready.
Huh.
And now I'm like, we're moving on to the next. I just want to print out my next one, to Where the Monster Lives, and send it to him. And like, this is just a full circle. You kept me going, and here's my next thing. So
That's cool.
we'll see what happens. I'm going to mail it off this week. So
Nice. One last question here.
Sure.
Is there an actor or a Texas actor specifically that you would love to work with in one of your films?
yes, I'm actually going to try to reach out to him for the short and for the feature. Is Jackie Earl Haley. He's
Okay.
out of San Antonio. He the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. He played Freddy.
Oh, okay.
He was Rorschach in The Watchmen. He was in the Bad News Bears back in the day.
Who was he in the Bad News Bears?
Oh, I forget the
One of the
character.
kids?
I forget the character. Yeah, it was. I think it was his first film.
Oh, I love that movie.
But no, brilliant dude, and like just his voice alone. So, yeah, Jackie, you're gonna be hearing from me. I mean, that's my number one, and the other one too. And I have to look up because I'm bad on where they're from. But Clancy Brown,
Okay.
he was the other one that we're gonna try to approach for the short and for the feature.
Interesting.
But
Interesting. Is there anything else you want to tell our audience or promote or put out there?
can I mention the Indiegogo? Or anything for
Please,
the short?
please.
So, depending on when this airs, we might be mid-swing on that campaign, but on September 2nd, which is next Tuesday, we launch our Indiegogo for When Opportunity Knocks. I guess by the time they hear this, it'll already be announced.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably premiering our first episode on the 14th. So.
Okay, so by then we've already made this announcement, but
Yeah.
Lynn Lowry from The Crazies, the original one with Romero, David Cronenberg Shivers.
Uh-huh.
She was in Fighting Mad with Peter Fonda. She's
Wow.
already attached herself to the film, wanted to be a part of it. And so she plays Sherry, and hopefully within a few weeks after that, we'll have the announcement of hopefully Jackie or Clancy. So,
That'd be great.
but yeah, it begins on that. We're in a pre-launch right now, but yeah, it'll be full swing on Indiegogo, just When Opportunity Knocks. Just trying to raise a budget to where, we can afford the good cast and crew. We have time to film, but then put something together with a solid cast, solid production, solid sound, the mix, everything, the color, which we have an all-star team of Texas people.
Right.
Put that to festivals.
Mhm.
And that way they're seeing that cast, they're seeing the quality, people are talking about it. And then that being our tonal experiment for Where the Monster Lives, and to get attention for that.
Right.
The thing I've learned is it's not what you've done now, it's what you're doing next.
Huh.
And so we were intentional that we're preparing for When Opportunity Knocks, so that when it hits and it causes the waves that it will, that we've got Where the Monster Lives just loaded in the chamber, ready to go.
Right.
So
Smart.
I'm pretty excited about it. They're both very cerebral, very psychological. It's horror, but it's not the blood and guts kind. Even though it's in there, it's really to make you think.
Okay. You keep talking about how you're not horror, but then all these movies are
Right.
horror. Like, is there... It's just interesting. I don't know. Like I have another friend. He's like the same thing where he's like, well, we're making a horror film, but we're not a horror,
It's not my specific drive.
Right.
It's not my drive to make a horror film. It's just the subject matter that it is. It's so intense that it falls within psychological horror.
Gotcha.
And the short is too. It's psychological horror. Dead Man's falls within action, love, adventure, but with the realness, and that's my style, is realism.
Okay.
Even when the fantastic, there's still this root in real. So
Awesome. Where can people see Wicked Season? Is that out?
so for the longest, it was on Apple and Prime, and I think it still is. It just hit Tubi
Oh, cool.
within the last month, so it's free to watch,
Nice.
and it's free to put those reviews on.
Excellent. Actually, one last question.
Sure.
If somebody wants to get involved working on one of your productions, is that something they can reach out? And,
Oh, absolutely. And on social media, I'm at Samuel Haun, I think, for most of my handles. I'm very open. I like to have like an open door kind of vibe, because you never know who you're going to want to meet that, but they want that opportunity to get onto a set. And I
Sure.
remember the pain of trying to get onto the first set.
Oh, yeah.
I was stalking this one crew at Longview, trying anything. And I was talking to this guy in this hotel lobby. I'm like, I don't care. I'll do anything. And in the end, I realized I was just talking to a grip, and they never said anything.
Yeah.
But Leo gave me that first step. So that's something, if people do want to reach out, they do want to get onto a set, no matter what the job, even if it's a PA,
Right.
you can't have a film without those.
That's the best place to start. If you don't know what you want to do, you go, like I did a lot of PA work with a lot of people, and they were like, oh, this is the department that I like. And then they would gravitate. And so,
it's a
yeah.
beginning, because you can see all the
Yeah.
departments, and you can kind of find that niche that you fall into.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to be that director, you got to find something that you can
Yeah.
fall in. That way you can network like
Yeah.
a camera.
Yeah, and you got to start. I feel like you got to start on a set and have experience before you're going to be a director, because you just have to know there's so many things you don't think about until you're watching it,
And all the things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, you piggyback off each last project, and the next one you take everything you learned and everything you messed up on, and you apply it to that one. And then you have a whole new set of things that you messed up on, and you take that to the next one. And it's just this constant growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will do behind the scene photos if you need them. Just throwing it out there.
Come on set, man. You're welcome. You're already on crew now, man.
Yeah, right. All right. I appreciate it. Well, Sam, this was great. Thanks for coming, talking to us, telling us about what we're doing. And we will look out for all this stuff. We'll have links and all the good stuff. So thanks again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'd like to thank Samuel Haun for joining us today. You can check out links to all his stuff in the show notes. Thank you to the Deep Ellum Community Center for letting us record here. Theme song Unstoppable by Salim Nuralla, and the outro is The Place to Be by Electric Ants. Thanks again to the Mullen & Mullen Music Project for their support. Like, subscribe, and share the podcast, and we'll see you next week.